Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dikshit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. Today I'll make another video on the same series, and the series is a lazy programming series, and in this I'll try to explain you about a variable, data types and the typecasting. Okay, these are the three things I'll try to cover in this video itself. What exactly is it, why we required in the Python itself, and these things having a valuable significant role when we're typing any code inside the Python compiler itself, and we wanted that to be get it done, so we required these things to be get it utilized very well. So the thing is that if we are aware about these things very well, then in that case, as per our need, we can utilize it very well. Now proceeding further with the variable part itself, what's the need of these things to be get it utilized? So in Python, variables are used to store data values. Each variable has a data type which defines the type of data it can hold. And here briefly overview about the data types, typecasting in Python itself and the variable itself. So I'll just give you a small description about the variable. Variable is a type of storage itself where we are storing the value. Okay, we want to store something. Let's take an example. If we want to store hello world, if we want to store a name of a person, we have to use a variable. Now wheresoever we are storing that variable itself, so what type of variable is it? So that is a data type. Like what type of data you're trying to get store, that is to be get it categorized in a data type. Like either it's a number, then it's coming under the category of an integer itself. If it's a type of true or false condition itself, then that is it's a part of the boolean itself. If it's a string type, if it's a float type, whatever the type of thing is it's coming under that category as per the need. Okay, so that's the purpose of it. Now we're talking about the typecasting. So typecasting is sort of different. Like when we're trying to convert one data type to the another one, that's coming under the category of the typecasting. Like if you're giving some input and you want that to be get it converted to another data type, then in that case that we call it as a typecasting itself. So now I'll just give it a small description about it. Now I'll tell you the actual definition about it, what actually the variable, with that little bit examples about it. So we're proceeding further with the variables part. So the variables are container for storing data types. You can think of them as named storage locations that can hold different type of data. So any type of data you want to get it stored, it's coming under the category of the variable itself where it's get stored. Now in Python, you do not need to explicitly declare the data types of a variable. So like if you're writing any code inside of the Python, there is no need to define any variable to be like integer, float. It's automatically get it identified by the interpreter. When we compile the code, it's get it identified as per the value. Like whatever the value you get it assigned to the variable, it's automatically get it identified by the interpreter, whether it's a integer, whether it's a float, whether it's a string, whatever is it's identified by the interpreter automatically. There is no need to define, like we have to define like this is an integer, this is a bool, this is a string itself. There's nothing, there's no need of it to get it define it. It's automatically get identified by the interpreter. Now if we're talking about x equal to 10, then we can say that when we interpret run the Python interpreter, then we can identify like this is looks like an integer. If we're talking about y is equal to hello world, then definitely it will get identified as a string. Now going to the data type. So what exactly data type, that's you aware about it. Like whatever, wheresoever we are trying to get it stored the value, and the variable name that is coming under some category, that category we call it as a data type. Like either the category is an integer type, float type, or I can say the string type, boolean type, whatever is it's coming under the category of that section, that we call it as a data type. Now there are so many type of data type, like we call it as a numeric type, text type, boolean type, sequence type, mapping type, and set types. Okay, so we're talking about the numeric types. It's in this category we have integer, we have the float. If we're talking about the text type, then definitely we have the string only is the only one. Now if we're talking about the boolean type, that's we have the bool. If we're talking about the sequence type, then we have the list, tuple, and the range. If you're talking about the mapping, we have the dictionary, that we call it as a dict. If we're talking about the set type, that only the set is one of the thing which we have it inside of the data type in this category. Okay, now going to the typecasting. So typecasting, as I already told you about it, typecasting involves converting a variable from one data type to another one. So Python provides several built-in function for typecasting itself, so we can utilize that also. So if we want to convert an integer, float or string respectively, then in that case, take example, if we have x equal to 5.6 and we want to get it convert to integer, then in that case, if we want to get it assign that integer and put it the value of that x itself, like which is 5.6, then in that case integer value we want to get it retrieved by this input, then in that case we can get it as 5 itself. So like with this document, when you're reading this, you can able to correlate what I mean by that right now. I'm not displaying anything from my side, but you can see that when you have published this on my blog, even on my GitHub, you can get these document about it, what actually I'm just explaining you about right now. Okay, so that is one of the typecasting where we are doing it from the integer to the float or float to the integer itself. Going further with that, if we want to put something as a list and we want that to be a tuple itself, that's also one of the possibility we can do that. Taking example, if there is a value, is just a value we are giving it and we want that to be get it convert to the bool, like true or a false. Like taking example, if it's a value is 0, then in that case it's become a false. If it's a 1, then in that case it become a true. Okay, that's also a conversion. We can do it very easily with that. Remember to use typecasting carefully, as it may result in loss of data on unexpected behavior if not done correctly. It's always a good practice to check the type of the variable before performing typecasting. That's most important. Okay, so now we proceed further with the practical part. I have prepared 3 codes for you and I'll just go one by one explaining you the code and then run it and correlate that stuff, what actually the mean by that line and what actually the output we're supposed to get on a screen. This is just a simple one, so I'll try to make it very simple for you so that you can able to correlate very easily. I'll provide the code also. The output is also in my screenshot, and even the same code you can try to get it run on your Python compiler and you can get the same result itself. Okay, so you can try to simulate the same thing on your system, but try from your side so that at least you can able to understand that how exact things going on and what type of output you are getting it. If you're not doing the practice from your side, it's difficult for you to understand later phase itself, and this is the initial foundation when we are trying to understand the concepts. If we are not able to understand very well, later phase when we are trying to utilize these directly, then in that case it's difficult for you to correlate how exactly we are utilizing that. Like in later phases when we are making a code itself, I'm not explaining a lot of things like these are variable, these things, not at the time of writing the actual code itself. I'll just make the code and make you understand like this is a variable, but how exactly it's coming and what is the functionality of it, I'm not explaining that as I'm explaining it over here itself. So go step by step with each and every video so that you can able to understand later phase itself. Okay, let me go to the system now and explain you about it, how exactly the things going on, and explain you with the running the code itself. Okay, so proceeding further with the practical section itself. So this is the actual code which I have written for it. So there is not much stuff, so I just get it covered in this video itself. This is just a basic one where we have already covered the print in our last video. We understand the data types now with the theory part, even we are seeing it over here itself, and the variable also we have already covered in typecasting. So everything I'll just try to get it combined in one video, in one code. I'll just make it 3 codes itself so that make you understand about it. So this is just an extension of the previous one itself, and this is also one of the thing. We will see that one by one itself. This looks like a fancy one, so I'll show you that also so that you can able to see like how exactly these things will be working. This is just an advanced one. The later phase itself is an advanced one, but still I just want to showcase you so that you can able to see that and try to start thinking about it. What are the creative things we can do it from your side? Okay, so a lot of things I'll just give it as a challenge also to you so that you can try from your side to make it, and later phase itself we'll try to integrate a lot of things together so that we can make a appropriate product itself, like for our portfolio also we can make it very easily. Okay, so proceeding further in this code itself. So this is a variable we are giving it. We are not giving a data type itself. We are just giving a value itself. So variable 1, var1, we are just giving a value as hello world. So understood, this is a string type. This is an integer type. We can able to see var2, var3. We can able to see this is a float type 36.7. Now these are the 3 statements indicate like we just want to print the data type, like what type of type is it. So when we try to identify the data type, then in that case we simply have to use this syntax. So print, we have to put the type and then we have to put the variable for which we want to identify the data type. Now proceeding further, this is for all three, and then after that, if we want to combine two things, let's take example, if we want to combine 2 and 3, this is 4 and this is 37.6. one is integer, one is float. How exactly this will react? When I run it, I will show you that what exactly is it. If I try to use this also, this will give me the error. I'll explain you about it. As the thing is that we want to combine var1 and 3, in that case a string and the float, we need to get it combined, which is not possible. So this is not possible. That was the reason I have write it down for you, just to make you understand about it. We can't combine two things as a string and the float or the integer itself. That was the reason we have to comment this. Just for your understanding for it, I have make it this line. If you don't want to write, that's also okay. Now this is one of the variable var4, and I'll just give it a value as a Harry. Now if I'll try to combine two things, var1, that is hello world, and now I'll try to get it combined var4, then in that case what exactly hello world, then Harry will be get it printed. I will run it, then you can able to analyze it. Now this is the eye-catchy one. So when you're seeing these things like 54, 32, and when I try to type this command, then in that case what exactly the first view, you definitely having a thought like we are adding these things, but we are not. The thing is that over here itself, if you are seeing var1 equal to double quotes, it's mentioned as 54. So this is considered as a string. This is not considered as a integer or float itself. This is considered as a string. So in that case, if it's considered as a string, so we are combining two strings. So 54 is the first string and 32 is the second string. We are just combining that value. Okay, that was the reason when we are running this, for this we are getting the output is 54, 32. If we're trying to type this line, then in that case integer var1, we are defining it over there itself. So var1 we are defining is as a variable, and over here itself var4 we are defining as an integer. Then in that case, if we want to get it add, we can able to get the value of addition of these two values. Okay, now if I try to get it this value, run this value, then in that case I can print this hello world 10 times. Just because of that, I'll just have multiply with this. Okay, now going further with that, this is a statement where I'll just start with that. So first, what the same thing I'm trying to do it, I'll just make it this integer, try to get it add whatever the value is it, I'll just try to make it that string. Now once we make it this as a string, typecasting, we'll try to type it this as a string. So then after that, I'll try to get it multiply by 100. So this values get it replicated 100 times for us. So whatever that output is, it's get it considered as a string and get it replicated 100 times for us. Now this is one of the thing where I'm just putting one of the value itself from my side. Taking example, this is the thing which I was want to get it print, enter a number. I'll take it an input also. So this is a new thing for you if you're not aware about the Python very well. So this is a new thing. Using this input itself, we just take the input and we'll just try to get it store that in this variable. So this is a variable where we are storing the value which we are taking it from the user, and then over here itself we'll try to take that value and we just convert that as string. Now once it's get it convert to the string itself, we just try to get it at 10. So whatever that integer value over here itself, it's get it by added by 10. Taking example, it might be possible to you having a thought like if a person have put it as string by mistake itself, even we have mentioned enter a number only, but even still the person have put it as over here itself as a not as a integer, I put it as a string itself, then in that case this will not work and you will get the error itself over here. But this will not work for you. But if the person have put it the value as integer only over here itself, and this variable is containing it, using the input, taking the value and get it assigned to this variable, and this variable is get it assigned, get it integer, and that value will get it added. Okay, even if a person is putting as a float itself, then also it's get it convert to the integer over here and get it add with 10, and then you can print the value as whatever is it plus by 10. Now let me run this code for you. So last time I forget to tell you, like I know that other time when you're seeing my screen, you're not able to see this portion. Okay, so let me show you that this is the thing which you have to click on it just to run that. Okay, so as I'm seeing it on my screen, you're not seeing this portion. That was the reason I've just minimized it and let it run for you. So if we click on this, this is a run project one. We'll simply have to click on it. Once I'll click on it, now I'll just make it a full screen, no need of the more. Now what exactly is happening, we'll just try to understand one by one. So this is the one which we want to identify. This is a string. Okay, so this is a, like whatever you're seeing it, this is a print one which you are able to see on your screen. So a type var1, that is a string. Now var2, it's integer. Third one is a float, and adding this also is become a float itself. That was the reason we are getting as a float. Now if I'm talking about this to be get it added, then in that case Harry and the hello world will be getting added, and you can get this output. Now as I explain you about it, this is considered as a string in this statement. Then in that case these two values not considered as an integer, it's considered as a string and get it added. So added means just to get it combined. So 5432 is get it combined over here, and we can get that output as 5432. It's not considered as an integer individual value, it's considered as a string. That was the reason 54 and the 32 get it add only. Okay, just club. Now after that, in this string itself, we are forcefully making these variable 1 and variable 4 as a string itself, and we want these value to be get added. That was the reason we can get the output as 86, as it's considered as an integer value and get it added. Now proceeding further with that, if I'll try to print the hello word 10 times, I can able to print that using this. If I'll try to go ahead further with this, and the same state I'm using it once again over here itself. Okay, so I'm getting the value, whatever the value is it. So I'm just getting that value, and I'll just try to make that value as string letterface and try to replicate that same string 100 times. That was a statement about it. Now this is the one we are taking an input. So let me try to put the input as 32. If I'll put that 32, you can see the output as 42, as whatever the value we are passing over here itself, it's get it stored over here. That value to be get it convert to the integer, and that integer values get it added by 10, and we are getting the value as 42. I hope you are able to understand this code. If you're not, just rerun the same portion once again. You can able to understand line by line. I have explained you the code also, and with that output also I'll try to get it explain you about it. Okay, proceeding further with that, this is a simple calculator. So in last calculator, what are the things we are doing? The things in an interpreter only, but over here itself what I want to make it a simple calculator. I'll just try to take two inputs from the user itself, not on the interpreter. I'm taking the inputs directly using the code itself, and that will be get it added as per the need, and we get the output. Okay, so let me run this one. When we run this, so it's asking for the first number, I'll put it as 20, second number as 30, and the output is 50. You can able to see that it's get it added, and we can get the output as 50. Okay, this is simple. Now there's a challenge for you. For this itself, I've tried to make it as plus, but if I want to go in the advanced stage, like taking example from beginners to the intermediate level, I want it this one also to be getted inside by the taking example. User is giving two numbers, but after that the user should have a right to get it defined whether the person have to go for the addition, subtraction, going for the division, multiply, subtract or addition. These are the things, whatever the person is user is willing to do, that person will put that as an input, like plus just to do the addition, multiply, just put it that multiply symbol, division symbols the person can get put it from the code itself, and in that case, as at the time of putting that from the user, and then we can calculate it and get the output instead of just hard coded the addition inside of the code and taking the two values and get it done as per the need itself. So we just try to make it the calculator more efficient by that way. So taking example, if we are taking the input, so if a user is putting like this, so automatically that input we considered over here itself in such a way, and that output we can get it. And we can also make one more thing, like till we wanted that code to be run it, then that also one of the thing we just try to make it, but that we can do it in a later phase itself. That's not possible in this, but your task is just to take two inputs, one user one, number 1, number 2, and then after taking the numbers also, you have to get it put from your side, plus, minus, multiply or division, any type of operator you can put it from your side, and by that way you can calculate the value, you can get the output. So operator is also be provided by you, so that is the homework for you. You try to make it that code for you from your side, and if you're able to make that, just let me know about it, how exactly is it, and put it that in a code in a comment section with that code itself from your side. I'll just try to see that and ping that and reply you back on that. Okay, so that is the second code. Now we'll go to the third. So this is looks like a simple one, but I have imported two things to I can say that are modules over here itself. Module I explained you earlier also, so I'm just running that directly itself. So these are the two modules which we are using it. Turtle is one of the module and time is one of the module. So turtle is one of the thing. I'll just, when we are running this, let me run the code first for you, then I'll just make you understand about it. I think this is a bit clear to you, like we try to print this value, we try to print this value we try to print it, but what exactly about this, what we're trying to achieve with this? So that is the thing which I just want to get it, explain you about it. So let me run the code first so that you can able to understand about it. Let me clear this, run it. Okay, so this is the one which we are getting it in the last phase of it when we are running it. So the last portion which you are seeing on your screen, that was a part of a twist itself, a turtle. I'm not expecting you to understand everything in one shot in this video itself, but there is a little bit thing which I want to give it as extra from my side in each and every video itself, so that I'll force you to learn something new instead of just mug up the stuff which I'm giving it from my side. So when you're seeing this type of thing, try to make that something from your side with a different type of thing, and let me know in the comment section of this video. Okay, by this way itself, what we're trying to get it achieved, we'll just try to mark and make it a square from our side itself. Okay, so for that we are just giving an initial position itself. We just get it, define this variable, and now after that we just have to define it forward. This is the instruction we are giving it with this variable. We are just giving as a forward, and this is the like how many dots we're trying to get it draw. Then after that, taking a once it's get it reach, then in that case it's taking a next instruction, that is a right. Then after that it will go for the next section 100, then after that right, then again taking a next section, then taking a right. So it's going in such a way itself, it will make it a full square itself. With this instructions we are giving it a forward, make it that right, then again going forward, make it a right. So that is the thing I'll try to get it achieved. This is get it terminated over here itself, but what exactly the thing, I'm just using a time.sleep itself. So time.sleep, like when I'm running it, and you can see like after completing the task also, still I can able to see that on my screen just because I'm using the time.sleep. So I'll just sleep the code just for 10 seconds so that it will display on my screen till 10 seconds. Once the 10 seconds is completed, it's automatically disappear. Okay, and to utilize both the things, turtle and the time, these are two modules I'm utilizing in my code. I'm running this once again for you so you can able to see this is creating for you. Okay, so I hope like you're able to understand all three codes very well. And if you have any doubt, please let me know about it. Even if you are trying to customize, like I'm quite happy, like if you try to modify the code, I'll provide it in my blog also, and even on my GitHub also I'll provide the code. You can utilize that code directly from your side, try to customize that and try to make something out of it. And if you think like something will be created, just try to put it in the comment section. I'll just try to see that what actually a different thing you're trying to get achieved. Like even if it's difficult for you, try to use the same code, and later phase itself when you are comfortable, try to modify the code and try to make something. Like calculator is one of the thing, I'll just give it as one of the challenge for you, just to put it operator from your side also and make that calculator more efficient. Similar like that in case of variable also, you can utilize that in such a way, like instead of making a square, you'll try to increase the length itself. That type of thing you can do it from your side. Try to make it a circle, whatever is it, try to modify it as per your things. Try to customize the code. Look around for multiple forums itself instead of just going with one of the way, like whatever things I'm providing it from my side. Don't stick with those things. Try to learn the stuffs, just taking this as a reference, and go it further with the documentation of the Python itself, which I will provide in each and every video. I'm providing the documentation link. Go ahead over there itself, go through the whole documentation. Just try to go proceeding further with that. Try to understand multiple concepts coming under that category. It's not possible for me to cover each and everything, but I just want to make you understand so that you can able to understand the beginners level. But if you want to go it further with the beginners to the intermediate level, you have to read the documentation. That's our basic thing is required for it. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.